Welcome back to Marvel Monday, where we are going to go do an episode or fun facts about filming behind the scenes of Spider-Man No Way Home. So first, number one, Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon knew the third Spider-Man movie was going to involve the multiverse for at least a couple of years, but they were skeptical that it would actually happen. Tom said they were so in the dark while filming Spider-Man Homecoming, but for this movie, the three of them were really part of the creative team. And they were asked questions and gave feedback. Oh, that's nice to see that. Okay, hold on a second. Number two, in fact, there was a point where the third movie was going to center around Kraven the Hunter because things weren't working out, and Tom Holland was even pitched the Kraven movie by director John Watts. Tom Holland said, "John pitched me this Kraven movie, which was actually really cool. It was fun." Meanwhile, screenwriters Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers said that Kraven the Hunter is always on the table when thinking about Spider-Man movies. In 2021, Aaron Taylor Johnson was officially cast as Kraven for a standalone movie. Number three, screenwriters McKenna and Eric Sommers started writing Spider-Man No Way Home in December 2019 and didn't really finish until early 2021. Not only did they have to pull together so many storylines and characters from three different Spider-Man franchises, but the COVID-19 pandemic caused production to be delayed, and that only added to the script taking a while. In March 2020, Chris and Eric were still working on the first draft of the script. Number four, since the script was constantly changing, a lot of former Spider-Man stars like Alfred Molina, Willem Dafoe, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire tentatively signed on from an initial pitch, and they were delivered the script pages. Screenwriters Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers explained that all of the actors were game after the initial pitches, but they eventually had to deliver pages that live up to the concept. Number five, in fact, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire weren't given actual script pages until just before they filmed their scenes, which was around Christmas of 2020. Chris McKenna said they knew the idea, that they trusted everyone, but we were in the middle of the war of making the movie, changing so much, but also we were heading towards shooting them, so they had to see pages and basically see, okay, we know there has been a pandemic, we know this has gone through a million changes, and we know it's been really difficult. Luckily, they read the pages and they were like, oh, okay, yes, we can work with this. Number six, Tobey and Andrew's Peter Parkers were originally going to have different entrances in the film. At first, they were going to be brought to Tom's Peter by a character and introduced as the saving grace who can help him through Aunt May's death. Screenwriter Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers didn't say which character was going to bring them to Tom's Peter, but they said the moment was just more of a Deus Ex Machina. Eventually, they were rewriting Act 3 during filming and came up with the iconic scene where Ned and MJ open a portal to look for their Peter, but instead get Andrew and Tobey, which is still pretty cool. I didn't know, is that James Franco in the back? Or, yeah, is that? I didn't know he was in it, if that's him. Willem Dafoe, number seven, only wanted to be in Spider-Man No Way Home if it was more than just a power cameo. He wanted to be involved in all action and stunts. He said, one of the first things I said to John and Amy Pascal, but basically when they pitched it to me, before there was even a script, was, listen, I don't want to just pop in there as a cameo or just fill in close-ups. I want to do the action because the fun for me. In 2002's Spider-Man, Willem famously did a lot of his own stunts as the Green Goblin. Number eight, Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon came up with a lot of inside jokes with Tobey Maguire while he was on set. It must have been fun to work with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I haven't watched the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans, but I love the Tobey Maguire ones. Two of them being Definitely Not Your Dad and TMCG. Tom and Zendaya both said Tobey is so funny and so cool. Tom elaborated saying TMCG T. McMahon. He was so funny. He was really excited to be back. You could tell it really meant a lot to him. Putting the suit on again, us getting back together. It was awesome. Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield all have a group chat that Tom started, and he said their bond is like a brotherhood. Oh, that's cool. When Tom revealed that a WhatsApp group existed, when he said it was after bumping into Toby and Andrew at a restaurant and a party in LA, respectively. Of course, we now know it's because they actually share the screen together. Speaking about the bond they have, Tom said, I have my friendships and my relationships with people that I express my concerns and talk about my problems and that sort of stuff. But there's nothing quite like doing it with someone who has donned the suit. We've shared something that so few people have shared. Number 10, even though Zendaya isn't in the scene that features the return of Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, Daredevil, she was on set watching from behind the monitor. She said, I was there for the behind the scenes watching Tom and Charlie, and Tom added, it was so much fun working with Charlie. Number 11, while filming the moment when Green Goblin talks to Peter about his existential crises, Willem Dafoe filmed the scene 30 times and gave a different performance every single time. Zendaya said he scared the hell out of everyone while in the Green Goblin voice, and Tom Holland added, I've never worked with an actor who is able to give a director so many options. Just like fans, number 12, just like fans, Tom Holland was emotional over Aunt May's death and said it comes out of the blue. He loved that with her death, the movie was able to solidify that she was an important role model for Peter. The relationship between Peter and May through these films has been really integral to the heart and soul of the story. Tom said this scene kind of seemingly comes out of the blue, like no one expects this to happen. It's going to be really, really hard hitting for people when they see the movie, which again we already saw, so yeah, that was hard hitting. Number 13, Marissa Tomei told her therapist the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home before it was released because she just had to tell someone. Marissa joked, only my therapist knows the ending. I had to be under oath and I had to tell someone. That's fair. Number 14, a majority of the film was actually shot on sound stages in Atlanta, Georgia, where most Marvel Cinematic Universe movies are filmed, so a lot of times when you are seeing NYC, it's actually a set with blue screen in the background, which I had a feeling. The massive fight before Peter and Doc Ock on the bridge was all filmed on a sound stage and not actually in NYC. For the bridge scene that was made up for 40 feet, blue screens on 3 sides of a pad and a roadway with the exit where the assistant vice chancellor fell inside the car. And lastly, in fact, the bridge fight between Doc Ock and Spider-Man is made up of a few hundred VFX shots, and it was originally a 15-minute long sequence. Visual effects supervisor Kelly Port explained the digital domain was tasked with creating the effects for this sequence, and they did such a great job. The team built an entire fully CG digital environment outside of the little bit of practical roadway they had on set. Now, my question is, what do you think of the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home? I was very sad. It made me emotional. I hate those kinds of endings where they don't remember who you are. But again, there was like no choice for, there was no other way out. So it was kind of upsetting to see that. Let's do one more final one. So director John Watts is credited with coming up with the idea to have Andrew Garfield's Peter save MJ after she falls the Statue of Liberty during the final battle. Screenwriter Chris McKenna said they saw a pre-visualization reel showcasing that the idea during the final battle. He explained there was an animatic of all these different things happening in the finale. Peter saving MJ was one of the ones that we saw, and we were like, how are we not doing something like that? I love that ending, how Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man got to save MJ at the end there. I did not know MJ or Mary Jane passed away in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man was when all my cousins were very young and when we were a lot younger, but Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire was when I was just a little kid, and that was like the one that I watched a lot. So let me know which one you guys prefer the Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, or Andrew Garfield. My order is Tom Holland, and Tobey, and then I can't really say anything about Andrew just because I've never watched his, but I was very sad to hear that MJ passed away in that one. Anyways, that is it for me. You guys have an awesome day. Happy Marvel Monday, and we'll chat soon. Bye now.